Hey there, it's Zara here, and I recently got a question from a woman about the ever-elusive Scorpio guy. She asked, Zara, I've been talking to this Scorpio guy on and off for a while now, and he's driving me absolutely crazy. I think he might be into me, but I just can't get a read on him. How do I figure out where we stand? And this is far from the first message that I've received like this about the Scorpio man. These secretive men are notorious for keeping their cards close to their chest, and when they're really into someone, they rarely make it obvious. Quite simply, trying to decipher them can feel like an absolute minefield, even if you're actually highly compatible, which, by the way, if you want to test your compatibility, you can go to compatiblestars.com for a free compatibility reading. But the good news is, as much as he might try to hide it, there are some subtle but revealing signs that can give away his true intentions. So here are 9 of the biggest signs that the Scorpio guy is secretly obsessed with you. 1. He stares a lot. Now, if you catch him looking into your eyes with that intense and penetrating Scorpio gaze, then that is a giveaway sign that he is into you. That intense gaze that they are so notorious for is usually only reserved for those that really capture his attention. You might also notice him staring from across the room, but being a little bit unwilling to approach. If he's acting like a shy and timid puppy dog that is staring but not fetching, then that is a telltale sign that the Scorpio guy is into you. 2. He lets you take the lead. Now, as much as I love them, Scorpio men do tend to be control freaks sometimes. They have a really strong, dominant, and power-hungry nature, and are usually determined to be in control of every situation. But when they become particularly enamored with someone, they will actually be willing to give up some of that control and even allow you to take the lead. So if he's letting you call the shots and make the decisions about where you're going to go and what you're going to do together and just the general direction that the two of you are heading in, then it shows that he not only trusts you, but he's also really digging your vibe. 3. He tells you his secrets. There are a few men that are more intensely private than the Scorpio man, and they don't go around revealing intimate details about their lives to just anyone. So if you catch him really letting his guard down and spilling the tea on some of his deepest secrets and desires, then you can be sure you're in with a shot. If he allows himself to be vulnerable around you and gives you a glimpse of the man behind the mask, then that's a pretty big deal for him. He only shares these type of details with a very small number of people. So pay attention the next time that he opens up, because he's likely trying to forge a deeper connection. 4. He tests you by playing hard to get. Now, one of the most confusing things about the Scorpio guy is they have a bit of a habit of playing mind games. So don't be surprised if he suddenly plays hard to get or gives off a bunch of mixed signals. In fact, if he's really into you, then there's a very good chance that it will happen at some point. He might suddenly drop off the mat and go no contact for a period of time, and then come back with even more eagerness than before. It can definitely be frustrating AF, but in his mind, he's trying to get a read on you and gauge just how committed and interested you really are. If he's trying to play silly games over text that leave you wanting to pull your hair out, then send him one of the texts that I put up over at scorpiotext.com, which are specifically designed to cut through all of the BS and escalate things into something more serious. 5. He gets jealous but tries to hide it. It's no secret that Scorpio guys can be a little bit prone to jealousy, and that's especially true when it comes to his relationships. And as much as he might try to hide it, he's usually not very good at doing so, and it's usually written all across his face. So if he suddenly starts to act weird the moment that you drop another guy's name into conversation, then take note, because he's showing his cards and revealing how strongly he actually feels about you. If you notice that he's trying to subtly but not so subtly interrogate you about who it is you've been texting or what you did on the weekend, then it's likely he's secretly vying for your attention and doesn't want the competition. 6. He gets a bit awkward around you. Now, these men are normally masters at masking their emotions and exuding an image of total and utter confidence and self-belief. But when he's with someone who he feels a certain kind of way about, then it can really throw him off his game. If he comes across as a little bit bashful and a bit more anxious than his usual composed and calm demeanor, then it could be because he's trying to play it cool but is struggling to hide his feelings for you. 7. His protective streak comes out. Now, when Scorpio men really care about someone, their protective instincts will come out in a big way, sometimes even to the point of being a little bit low-key possessive. These men love to play the role of the hero and will trip over themselves just trying to make that happen. So if he's going out of his way to walk you home at night, or is constantly checking in on you to make sure that there's nothing that you need, then that's probably his protective instinct kicking in, which is yet another serious indicator that he is kind of obsessed with you. 8. He's always fishing for information about you. Now, when Scorpio guys are into you, they can get inquisitive as hell. They can turn into Sherlock Holmes overnight, constantly prodding for information and just wanting to learn more. If he's always asking really personal questions about your childhood or what your goals are, then it's probably because he's intrigued by you and wants to understand what it is that makes you tick. If he's always sleuthing your social media or seems to remember every small detail that you've told him in previous conversations, then you can take it to the bank that that Scorpio man has his eyes on you. 9. He initiates deep conversations. Last but not least, when a Scorpio guy really likes you, he will instinctively want to connect with you on a much deeper level. He's not really one for small talk or superficial connections and absolutely loves to engage with people on that kind of intense level that's super real and super raw. So if he skips all the small talk and steers the conversation into the deep and philosophical and speaks with a level of passion and intensity that only a Scorpio is capable of, then there's no doubt about it that he wants to get to know you a whole lot better. And finally, be sure to watch the video that I put up over at thescorpiomanual.com, where I revealed the one thing that absolutely no Scorpio man can resist. That video will show you exactly how you can skip all of the games and instill so much passion and desire within these men that he will be practically worshipping the ground you walk on. Until next time, I'm Zara Madden, and I hope you have the best day.